is Tua's little brother from Maryland. He's Maryland's quarterback, Tagovailoa. He claimed in an interview at Big Ten Media Day that he was offered $1.5 million from an anonymous SEC school to transfer to them. Now, I was trying to do some research to figure out where he could transfer, like what school could it have been. And it's not as easy as you could maybe think. I mean, maybe some people are a little better than me than being a private investigator. I do know that he went to Bama. He was there with Tua. He transferred because he wanted to play. He felt that he wasn't going to have an opportunity to play. Bama makes sense that they would offer him to come back because of the quarterback situation going on at Alabama. And again, he denied it. And he goes, it's not about money, it's about happiness, which tells me he probably will still have to fight to start, which at Bama, I think he probably still would have. I don't feel like it would have been in Auburn or Ole Miss. Georgia's fine. Kentucky doesn't really seem like they would be interested or offer $1.5 million. They just don't seem like that type of school. I could be wrong. I just don't feel like they play into that. So you got to think it's got to be the Bamas. Maybe an Auburn plays in that mix a little bit because he was obviously down there. Hugh Freeze just flipped a 5-star wide receiver from Alabama. Could Florida have been in that mix? Maybe. We've had drama with quarterbacks. But the issue I have with this is a massive claim. This is a huge claim. Two things here. One, obviously pay to play, which I thought was frowned upon, but the NCAA and their slap on the wrist tells me otherwise. And with the SEC, right, with it being claiming that the SEC offered him to enter into the transfer portal, that's tampering, which seems to have raised more eyebrows than the money being offered. That has pissed coaches off more of other coaches tampering than the actual money that's being handed, right? Because it's like, look, like it's like war, right? Even though war doesn't have rules and it seems like it's a bloody game, there's still rules. There's unwritten rules to this, that it's mano a mano, the gentleman's touch. That's what it is. Tampering is you going over that boundary. It's like, look, I don't care if you pay this kid. I don't care what you do. But don't come into my backyard when he's eating dinner with me and offer him a deal. That's low blow shit. And that's what he is claiming here. You can't just go off on a random interview and go, yeah, I got offered $1.5 million. There's two parts. One, could be considered a slander. You're slandering the SEC conference, one. You're slandering a coach, although you didn't say a name, but you're putting it out there. But you're also shopping yourself. You see what he did here, right? You throw out $1.5 million like that, well, now it's like, okay, I'm naming my price because he can go next year. Even though he transferred, he's a graduate student. Next year he can transfer for free, just like Emory Jones just did, because obviously he transferred from Alabama. So I think it's more of him just putting his price on the market the free way. Could be wrong there, but that's what I think. Steve?
Look, I don't see that there's any reason to bring that up. And we all know it's happening. We're all well aware that it's happening. The coaches have been talking about it. They've gone to their own individual media days. Like the ACC has said it. The SEC coaches have said it. Like they've all been talking about it. There's a whole group of coaches getting together trying to put some type of regulation on NIL. And then you've got this kid coming out and it just sounds like it's just shooting off at the mouth. And the worst part is, to me, is that this kid doesn't need money. He's got a really rich brother, right? So if you want to market yourself, and I get that part. I get the part that you want to market yourself and you want to be able to, myself, I don't want to rely on my family. I deserve this money. But why would you say that? It just feels so unnatural, because any of these players could have said that by now, and none of them had. So that there's at least a little bit of an internal or even an external pressure on them that says, hey, let's maybe be a little bit smart about the way that we're handling some of these transactions. And who told, and he just comes out and says the thing that we all know has been happening that just didn't need to be said. So he lost me at that. Why he did it, I don't care. There's a whole lot of reasons why he might have done it. Maybe
it's the fact that he did it.
It's just the fact that he did it. Don't. It's already a volatile enough situation. shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, it's almost, again, like, and Joe says he made that shit up. It doesn't feel credible, right? It's like a he said, she said. And if you're going to go out there and claim something that atrocious, which is, again, massive, that's a massive claim. You can't just say, like, yeah, that's what happened, and then keep going. That's not okay. It's like you're at work and you're at the water cooler and Gina walks by and be like, hey, did you hear the CEO was banging the front clerk? Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? And then just keep walking. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah. You drop your water cone and you walk away. Like, what?
Yeah, like what? You can't do that. Like you broke the code.
It's just dumb.
And look, this is going to hurt us. You have to look and think, like, would it hurt his draft stock? That's a little bit farther out, but it's a character flaw. Like, what are you doing? It's unless there's an actual claim there, but what's your purpose here? Like, what are you trying to achieve by doing this? Because if not, you're just stirring drama. You're just creating noise to basically be heard because nobody writes about you. And he is a phenomenal quarterback. He is a blast to watch. I remember watching him at Maryland last year going, how the hell do these kids at Maryland, how does SEC guys not get a hold of somebody like this? Like, watching him play, like, dude, he's a freak. Well, what they did, he just transferred, right? And I didn't realize that. But I don't know. It just, he's kid's talented. I don't think he needs to try to sell himself more than what it is, and that's what it feels like. It's a cry for attention. Could be.